You have the ability to manifest anything that you want because you're the one who is the focuser. You are the creator of your own reality, and you're creating your reality by virtue of the vibration that you're emitting. And that vibration is your point of attraction. We're not even kidding you. It is your point of attraction. Law of attraction is responding to that point of attraction. You have the ability to practice the frequency of your desires until you own them, until you know them. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about knowing, because the frequency of knowing is a lot different than the frequency of doubt or the frequency of hope. Because in doubt and hope, there are varying degrees of resistance. Whereas when you're knowing, when you know that something is going to happen, then there's no resistance. You know for a fact. And so we want this to be your toolbox. We want you to be equipped with the knowledge that your desires are 100% not only coming, they're already here right now. They're here in the vibrational form. And the knowledge that we want to impart to you, the knowledge that we know that you will not only uncover but feel the resonance with, is that your desire is vibration. And as a result of law of attraction, that is a momentumizer of everything, that your desire will turn into the physical reality, that your desire will become physical in a matter of time. In fact, we're not even talking about a long time here. We're talking about thoughts turn into things. And when you really understand all this, and yes, you can call it a formula, but when you really understand all this, then it's rather fast. The results become rather fast. And you look to many, when people look at you, they think, wow, that person has everything, just one good thing after the next, and you would just have this momentum of your life. And it's not because you're lucky, it's because you effectively utilize the energy that creates worlds. You know how to use the law of attraction to your advantage because you know how to offer thought deliberately. You know how to offer thought in the direction of things that are wanted, because everyone wants everything. Desires are happening rapidly every single day. You're summoning this great source energy because anything that you want, your inner being, who you really are, really becomes the vibrational equivalent of your desire. So when your vibrational version, or when your inner being becomes the vibrational equivalent of your desires, it's a placeholder. It doesn't take its eye off. Whereas you, the second that you want something, you're usually quick to kill your desire. You're usually quick to talk about your limits, your limitations. Oh, I do want the money, but it's probably not going to come to me today. Instead of understanding that it's about momentum, instead of understanding that your job is to create a dream, is to not only create the dream, but find satisfaction in the dream, which is what this is all about. Because you can know your desire before it comes. And in fact, that is your job. And so let's get right into it. Let's get into the theory behind it. So first of all, you want something, it becomes a vibrational reality. So now your job is to become the vibrational perceiver, because everything that you want is in this vibrational reality. And usually you're pretty good at getting into the vibrational reality. You know how to stay there. You understand that you're going to fall out, and that falling out is not something to beat yourself up for. It's actually a part of the process. You understood that falling out of the vortex is natural. It's called contrast. It's a part of being a creator, is that when you fall off the vortex, the vortex expands. And so you're here for that expansion, because when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. But you always knew, and you knew this from when you were a full consciousness in the physical and not this extended version of you in the physical form. You always knew that when life caused you to want something, you would go with that rocket. You would train yourself in the frequency of it. You would talk about why you want it. You would talk about the emotional reasons why you want it. You would pretend it in your mind. You would daydream it. And in the daydreaming and the conjuring of the image and the receiving of the image from the vortex, you would actually enjoy it like a movie. You would talk about how amazing it is. You would go up the emotional scale by virtue, in response to the image that you're seeing in your mind's eye. And that's exactly what you knew. So you do have this ability to train yourself, but do you know what gets in the way of you training yourself? You're training your vibration, you training your belief, creating a new belief about the presence of your desire, because every subject is two subjects, because there's no source of evil. There's just two subjects to every subject. So when we're talking about money, we're talking about the presence of money and the absence of money. Imagine as a stick, we're talking about the presence and the absence. So what is your belief on? Where are you more dominantly going to focus on? Where is your practice? Where do you think the most of? What has your most average amount of thought spent? What side of the stick? So that's what we're here to talk about, because the presence feels good. It's so interesting to tell our human friends that pure desire feels good, doubt feels bad. So stay on the desire end of the stick, stay on the presence end of the stick, because the presence feels good. When you're talking about what you want and why you want it, and you're imagining yourself with it, that's enough. That momentum will take you all the way over there. And so that's really the only thing that would get in the way of that good creation, that really good habit of talking about why you want everything, is reality. Reality gets in your way. And since you love reality, since reality is, you feel such a responsibility to reality, because when in reality there's society, and what are people going to say about me if I'm just sitting around and talking about what I want? I have to take action. And we're not saying don't take action. We're just saying let the action be inspired, because when you do this right, aka when you really allow the momentum, meaning you're the one who's not contradicting it, so you're allowing momentum to naturally take course, then you're going to be inspired to action. Action is a natural product, but the action isn't how you create. You create with your thoughts. You create with your imagination and your fantasy. But this is another really good way of saying it. You've already created it, because as a result of you asking it, you've already created, you set everything into motion. So it's not that you're creating through your imagination, is that in your imagination, you're either practicing on one end of the stick or the other. So we're trying to get you to love the thrill of creation, because ultimately, and we're going to talk about, this is the part where we talk about the physics. So you want something, bam, it becomes reality. So the first sign of your manifestation, the first sign that thoughts are turning into a thing, because remember, first say this, the first sign is your emotion. That emotional manifestation is your first sign, because there are two ways to know how you're doing vibrationally. How you feel before it happens, and that's before the manifestation. So pre-manifestation awareness, and the post-manifestation awareness, which is what happens next. So what you actually manifest. Did you get the money? Did you get this? Did you write the book? That's what your vibrational habit or your vibrational countenance is reflecting. But what we're saying is we want you to understand that in those two ways that you can understand what your vibration is, the emotion is your pre-manifestation. So we want you to be knowledgeable in the emotion. That's what we want you to trust. We want you to trust in your emotion, because the emotion is empirical information. The emotion is as good as seeing something. But here's the thing: when you talk about what you want and it feels good, and you're like, I want to talk, and you talk about the clarity and the flow, and you go for the general easy stuff first, then that desire is going to feel good to you, and that's your work. That's your vibrational journey that you must undergo. You must make your desire feel good to you. And when you make your desire feel good to you, that momentum is going to carry you. That momentum is going to be carried as a result of you just talking about how good it feels. But this is the piece that's really important to understand, is that you have to strike the balance, or you have to understand the balance between efforting, meaning where you're working too hard, and allowing. And that balance is having knowledge that this positive emotion is the first sign of your manifestation, but not guiding all the way to the end, meaning you're not talking about the specific manifestation that your vibration can't handle yet. It's like, yeah, I know all my manifestations are going to come, but it's still just for the feeling. It's just for the pleasure. It's just for the feeling of resonance. It's just for the feeling of being here and enjoying this dream, because that's what will take you there. Did you hear that? You replay that piece part again. It's a pleasure. It's not the, oh, I'm gonna get there. It's not the scientific approach where it's like, okay, I did this, universe give it to me. It's not this tit for tat sort of a way. It's understanding that actually, if it feels good to you, that's how you get all the way over there. That's actually how you go to that genius level. That's how you make the big things happen. You dream it, you enjoy it in your mind, and you feel the momentum pick up. You feel it ramp up. You feel a positive emotion. You understand, hey, this is an emotion. An emotion means something. It means I'm beginning to translate. The translation process has now it's happening, because it's not like I'm earning this. It's that it's there. You will know when you have struck vibrational harmony with the presence of your desire, meaning you're going to see that you will see, and it's a law, you will see the physical manifestation. You will see evidence when you start to feel good. When you feel good, that's how you know. When the idea feels good in your mind, when you feel excited for your money before the money's here, the money has to come. But the thing is, if you feel excited for the money and then you almost, open your door and you're waiting for the physical manifestation, then you're not doing this the way that we're saying. Because ultimately, when you look for something that's not there, you practice the absence of it. You don't see it. So we're trying to get you to get over the physical reality just for now. We're trying to get you to love the emotional. We're trying to get you to understand it, and we're trying to get you to understand that there's a whole vibrational realization thing happening here. You're translating everything with your eyes. You're translating everything with your nose. You're translating everything with your 5 senses. And so as you're translating everything with your 5 senses, that's what makes your reality reality. It's your perspective. It's your eyes that are seeing. So it's your version of the story. It's your perspective. And so you can't see beyond your perspective. You can't see beyond your ability to receive. You have to only receive. You can only receive what you're matched to. But we're saying, you're summoning all this energy, and the thing is, there's this push-pull thing happening, because you're summoning energy and then you're denying it, you're blocking it, you're pushing it away, and this push and pull, your inner being is going to win. But we're saying, why don't you allow the energy? And you know what it is because you want all these things. Negative emotion is only one thing. Negative emotion means that you want something that you're not allowing yourself to have by virtue of whatever you're thinking. So when you want the money, you're thinking about, yes, I want the money, but you're so in love with reality. You're so addicted to reality. So instead of understanding that, okay, it's about getting momentum rather than about telling the truth, because there's a law of attraction out there and it's responding to my vibration. So anything that I emanate vibration, any thought that I think equals my point of attraction. So instead of saying, I want the money, it's gonna feel so good to have it, it's gonna feel so amazing, it's gonna feel so right, it's gonna just feel so nice to spend everything, it's gonna feel good to spend everything, that's momentum. Instead, you're saying, I want the money and it'll be nice, but it's probably not going to come anytime soon. I have a deadline, I have a timeline, I want it to come to me faster. You talk about the very environment, you talk about the conditions that made you launch a rocket. So instead of talking about how good the money would feel, you talk about how bad it feels to be poor. You feel about how bad it feels not to have a book written. You talk about how bad it is not to have it. And we're saying that's true. Like, there's no way to get over reality. You just have to understand that you can't talk about what's real all the time, because what's talking about real, when something is real, it doesn't mean that you have to focus on it, because you were taught that if it's real, you have to be honest, explain your thinking, tell me exactly what happened. But we're saying that everyone's reality is perceptual. So we can't all agree on what the reality that we're all seeing, because we all see at different frequencies. We all see at it all matters about how we're vibrationally feeling when we perceive, because that affects what we see. Is that interesting? It's about how we feel. Everything is about how you feel. So you have to enter in a new condition into the mix, how it feels. Just because something is real doesn't mean that it matters. It's only about how it feels. Because someone says, no, it's real. That means if it's real, then there's truth to it. And if there's truth to it, then it's going to come into reality. I'm going to see more of it. But it's not like that. You're not going to see it again, because whatever you focus on, you get more of. So here's the thing. If you focus on it, then it's going to come in, it's going to come into your physical reality. So you got to focus on what feels good, because when something feels good and you think about it, then think about what we just said. When you think about it and it feels good, then think about what you now know as a result of this video. You now understand that when it feels good to me, then that means that there's going to be something that I'm going to see. Meaning there's a physical manifestation that's going to feel really good. It's going to come and it's going to be exactly from my vortex, but I can't make the creation. I can't be the reason why I'm calibrating, meaning the reason why I'm doing this work to be the result. It has to be for the joy I feel. It has to be for the fact that I can't have it any other way, because I'm a creator. So I have to resonate with my dream. I have to think about my dream, and my dream feels good to me. And that's why I'm thinking about it. Not because I want it to come, not because of the results, but because it feels so darn good. It feels so damn good, because that's life. That's what life is. Life is all in your head right now. Emotions are such a manifestation. What's more real than the emotion that you're feeling right now? The emotion that you're feeling right now is a manifestation that you're not only looking for, that's what you really want at the end of the day. And so if you learn to feel good even before it comes, even in the absence of your desire, if you can learn to feel good because you're in love with that image of it in your mind, so you're not allowing the reality to be so stuck in your craw, meaning you're not always focusing on it. So you're leaving the absence alone. You're saying, you know what, reality is all good because I can go in my mind and I can fix it and I can dream. You activate the vibration of the presence of it, even though it's not in front of your eyes, because you're over the fact, you're over being conditional. You're over just only observing something, only offering a vibration if you can see it. You're offering vibration as a result of your imagination, of your understanding that, hey, I'm emitting a frequency, but the universe doesn't know why I'm emitting the frequency. It doesn't understand or doesn't see the truth. It just understands that whatever I emit and maintain, that equals my point of attraction. So I have to get it back. So you know what that means? That means that if you match the frequency of being a millionaire, then you have to get it, because it's a law.